with our app on Google and Apple. Because lunchtime is your time. Out to lunch every day from 12 to 2 on WRMN 1410 AM, the talk of the town.
From morning coffee to your evening commute, WRMN 1410 AM is here for you. The faithful friend that brings you local news, timely topics, and the friendliest voices in the Valley. Stay informed, entertained, and engaged with our full lineup of shows, streaming all day, every day at WRMN1410.com or on the WRMN app. Wherever you are, we're right there with you. So why switch stations? Stick with the one that has it all. WRMN 1410 AM, your daily companion, your constant conversation.
Progressive presents the Sports Flash on News Talk Radio 1410 WRMN.
1-0 pitch. Fly ball to deep right. Are you kidding me? Another grand slam. 7-1 Brewers on the 5th grand slam in the last 8 days.
The Brewers beat the Cubs 7-1 in Milwaukee on Sunday. The Brewers out-hit the Cubs 10-2. Freddie Peralta 6-4 with the win. He went 7 innings, struck out 8, issued a pair of walks, and allowed a run on 2 hits. Meanwhile, Kyle Hendricks drops to 1-6. He lasted just 3 2/3, 7 runs, 7 hits, 3 strikeouts, and a walk. Christian Yelich hit a 2-run homer in the 4th for the Brewers. Sal Frelick had an RBI single. Then Bryce Turing hit a grand slam. Nico Horner accounted for Chicago's only run. That was a homer in the 1st. Bundle auto and home, renters or condo, and save with Progressive. I'm Chuck Sanders on News Talk Radio 1410 WRMN.
Celebrate July 4th with savings at Lowe's. For a limited time, save on the essentials you need to make your garden pop for summer, like Miracle-Gro 25-quart potting mix. Get 2 bags for just $16 and get up to 40% off, plus save an extra $50 on every $500 you spend on select major appliances. Hurry, these deals won't last long because Lowe's knows summer savings. Valid through 7/10. Miracle-Gro excludes Alaska and Hawaii. Appliance savings vary based on purchase amount. Exclusions apply. See Lowe's.com for more details while supplies last.
Life hack number 7. Get an iPhone 12 on Straight Talk.
Life hack.
Here's how it works. You walk into Walmart, go to the electronics section, ask for iPhone 12 with 5G and a dual camera system, and select the new Silver Unlimited plan. They'll smile because it's a good plan. You get real unlimited data all for just $20 a month for the whole first year. Get it at Walmart or StraightTalk.com. Straight Talk. Less dollars, more sense. Taxes and fees apply. Requires activation of iPhone 12 and a new Silver Unlimited plan or higher end auto pay enrollment. $25 a month, sir.
Over the years, you've brought them into your home. You were prescribed opioids after the C-section, when Dad injured his back, when your basketball star tore his ACL. Opioids helped with the pain, and you held on to them just in case. But did you know holding on to unused opioids puts your family at risk? Opioids are powerful pain-reducing prescription medicines, but most people who are prescribed opioids don't finish their prescriptions. So millions of unused opioids are sitting in homes across the country. And tragically, more than 100 Americans die every day from overdoses involving opioids. What can you do to protect your family? Remove the risk of unused opioids from your home. Pills, patches, or syrups in drawers, purses, and cabinets, anywhere they might be hiding. To find out how to dispose of them properly, visit www.fda.gov/drug disposal.
Welcome to Open Book, the Gail Borden Library Show dedicated to our vibrant community. Join us as we explore local stories, events, and engage with authors, community leaders, and residents who make Elgin extraordinary. Brought to you in part by KCT Credit Union, where your financial well-being is their top priority. And now, here's your host, Leah Unser.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Open Book. I am clearly not Leah Unser. I am filling in for her today. This is Matt McNeil here, broadcasting live from downtown Elgin. Welcome to Open Book, everybody. That is every Monday. That is from 1 until 2 p.m. If you would like to join us live, listen in through the AM 1410 dial. You can also feel, you can also feel free to go onto our YouTube channel, youtube.com/WRMN Radio. If you would like to keep up to date with what's happening here with WRMN and our live streams, feel free to go to, again, our YouTube channel. That is youtube.com/WRMN Radio. I want to welcome our two wonderful guests today. We have here of the book cart drill team, Tish Calamer, as well as materials and handling, Margaret Grunmeyer. Welcome, both of you, to the show today. How are both of you doing?
Good, thank you.
Very good.
It's great to be here. Thank you.
Well, you're very welcome, and thanks for joining us today. Again, folks, if you want to join in the conversation, you can feel free to take a look at our YouTube side of things. You'll be able to type on YouTube, and you'll be able to comment live as well. And we like to acknowledge those comments. If you would like to visit Gail Borden Public Library, their website, it is gailborden.info. What we're going to do here is we're going to start with Tish. And how are you today?
Oh, I'm doing very well. How are you?
I'm doing very well, thank you. Thank you for joining us here. Tish, now, if you want to talk a little bit about your position at the Gail Borden Public Library and what you do.
I would love to. I am the Director of Community Engagement, and we go out into the community and bring people library services. We have Life Enrichment, which reaches seniors. We have Community Connections, which is sitting at community tables and planning special events, all with an eye to building bridges in our community and ultimately bringing people back to the library so that we can serve them and their needs. We really just want people to survive and thrive and to make this the best community possible. And I've been at Gail Borden now for 30 years. Clearly, child labor laws were violated, right? And it's just really been a joy to serve this community.
That's awesome. And I know speaking with both of you earlier today that you're very passionate about what you do. So thank you so much for coming on to the Open Book Show here as well. So you are with the book cart drill team. How exciting is that? I've seen, of course, videos on YouTube. I've shared it with my show on the show, The Drive Time Deal. I've shared on my show before. I always share the Gail Borden Public Library as often as I can, at least once during the show in its entirety, to talk a little bit about what's happening with the Gail Borden Public Library, and of course also talking a little bit and showing some of those Facebook pages and postings that they have. And one of them was the book cart drill team that was practicing. They were practicing for the 4th of July parade. So if you'd like to give us a little bit of a brief history on how this all came together.
Sure, I'd love to. I grew up in the LaGrange Park, LaGrange area, home of the annual pet parade. And I know that Elgin is doing its own pet parade this year, but this is the granddaddy of them all. So we would go to the pet parade every year. We tried having our cats in the parade once. Once is all that's going to last. And I was really inspired by the Shriners in their little cars, and also a group of locals that did a lawnmower drill team. And they did all of these fun drills. And somehow that memory stayed with me. And when the library was preparing to march in the 2001 parade, and I believe it was our first time in the parade, I thought, wouldn't it be fun to do a version of the lawnmower drill team? But of course, we'll do book carts. So we grabbed all of the red carts in the library to fall in with the red, white, and blue theme, and just started making up drills. And I can tell you a little bit about the drills that we came up with. So we do fleur-de-lis, which is a sort of flower shape. We peel off in 2 different directions. We have do-si-do, where we do a little square dance move. We also have daisy chain and mini daisy chain, which are circles. And grapevine is sort of a zipper effect. And then the ever popular circulate, where we play to the crowd. And this year, for our 150th anniversary, we have a special new drill, and that's all I'm going to say about that.
Very exciting. I know that, like myself, who have seen the book cart drill team in the parades before, it's always pretty fun as well. Always pointing it out, seeing what they do with the performance as well. How long does it usually take to train for doing the performance?
It never feels like we have enough time, so I always feel that we're maybe charmingly under-rehearsed or charmingly imprecise, but I appreciate the time that the book cart drill team does give to this. We rehearse maybe about 5 or 6 times the month before the parade for about 20, 30 minutes at a time, and we drill on the parking lot of the library, the staff parking lot, so that we get that blast of hot asphalt that conditions us for the parade. And we usually drill about 10, 15 minutes at a time, and then we talk about what the parade is going to be like and go over questions. We do pay attention to technique. We like to have our shoulders lined up and our hips lined up, but we're not Rockettes. We're not the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders, that's for sure. But where we maybe lack in skill, we make up for it in heart.
There you go. That's awesome. So it's definitely, looking at the video here, and I'll even show it on the Facebook side of things too. I'll pull it up on the screen here. Is you can definitely see that they have a fun time doing it here. I've shared it on the show before, so you folks know what I'm showing you here. And of course, if you've been to the parade before, you know that they have a great time performing this. Now, again, tell us a little bit about the recruitment and the process of that, and even also for maybe people in the future who might be interested in doing this and partaking in this. Talk to us a little bit about that.
Well, usually I like to prey on newer employees because they don't know what they're getting into. But actually, some of our veterans love it and they keep coming back. So we have a stable of people that really enjoy it. I usually just send out a group email and announce that we're taking anybody who's interested. And I always reassure people you do not need to have any athletic ability whatsoever. All you have to have is heart and enthusiasm, and we'll work with that.
There you go. And the thing is, too, is I think also with it being the summertime, it's the summer season, the weather's really nice out. People feel, I think, maybe a little bit more energetic. They feel like, oh, we get to go outside. We get to feel the breeze in our face. And so they're like, hey, why not try out this book cart drill?
The 100-degree heat indexes will disavow of the cool breeze idea.
Absolutely. And I know, too, that, you've had different carts with different styles. I think if I can remember from when I was younger, because I was born in 97. So it started, I think it was in 2000. Did you say baby?
You're a baby.
Oh. I do remember, because I think you said it was started since 2001. Is that correct? Mm-hmm. Or it's been almost roughly 20 years or so. That you had the little. I think if I remember correctly, seeing here that you had the little worm coming out of the apple. I think maybe a couple times has been on display on the carts, maybe, or things like that. So that's kind of how also I remember it as well too.
We usually tie into the summer reading theme for our cart decor. I can't remember exactly which one was the worm with the apple, but we've dressed the carts up as dinosaurs, as Super Croc, as space rockets. We've been undersea creatures. We've been dogs and cats. So yes, our carts will reflect the summer reading theme, which usually ties in then with a big library exhibit. So when we had the dinosaurs, we had dinosaur carts, and that was pretty cool.
And the thing is, too, and this is really, really cool, and I'm sure that you are very proud about this, is that the city of Elgin is appointing you Grand Marshal of the parade this year. That's really, really cool. So talk a little bit about that, too.
Well, we're so grateful and thankful. It really is an honor. We are the library, the 2024 Grand Marshals of the Parade. So we'll be grand marshaling, whatever that means. I think that means that we're in front. Our library CEO, Carol Mettle, will be on a float along with some board members. We have about 25 people who love the library that are going to be walking with us. We have, of course, the 16-member book cart drill team. Most of our library vehicles, certainly the bookmobile and some others. So we're going to make, I think, quite a splash, quite an impression, and we're really excited. It is an honor.
That is really, really cool. Also here, too, wanted to talk a little bit about maybe some amusing anecdotes. Heat index of 107 and having to work in the parade. I'm sure you have dealt with that before. I know that it's supposed to rain. Fingers crossed it doesn't, but I have heard it's supposed to rain this year.
I'd rather deal with the rain than a heat index of 107. That was the year that the 4th of July was on a Sunday, and I think the city, to save some money, decided that they would have the parade on the 3rd, which was a Saturday. Now, the library's always closed on July 4th, but we're not usually closed on July 3rd. So we had to march in the parade, do our drills, and then come back. And my colleague Melissa and I, we were on desk, meaning we had to work at the information services desk or the reference desk right after the parade. So we were just these sodden, sweaty lumps of red and gray flesh, and we were just soaked. So we sat in our staff lounge for about 20 minutes and thought, how are we ever going to do this? We dragged ourselves on desk. I don't even think I remember the rest of the day. Just waves of heat were coming off of us, and we were just like, what just happened? Somehow, I hope we gave good service, but if we didn't, we apologize. We had quite possibly a heat stroke. So heat is not our friend out there on the parade.
I understand completely. I've been there before. I did theater in middle school and high school. There were times when we would practice outside, and it was like, wow, it's very hot outside today.
Yeah, I much prefer rain.
Absolutely, yes. So we're going to take a quick time out here as we get out of the first segment of our open book, of the Open Book Show. Again, thank you, both of you, for coming in today. When we come back, I do also want to touch base a little bit more about the parade with you, and then we'll go into Margaret with materials handling, talking a little bit about that. I learned some interesting facts a little bit earlier today before the show. So stay tuned, and we're going to be back with more of the Open Book in just a little bit. Don't go anywhere.
Wow, it's here, the Kane County Fair, July 17th through the 21st in St. Charles. It's fun for everyone. Grandstand thrills, pro champion bull riders, demo derby, music on the Middle Light soundstage, classic car show, and more. Always free parking. Kane County Fair, July 17th through the 21st in St. Charles at the Kane County Fairgrounds. Visit kanecountyfair.com. Wow, it's here, and it's fantastic. Brought to you in part by Ascension St. Joseph Elgin and Ascension Mercy Aurora and Miller Lite.
By love of food and wellness, Mockingbird Bar and Garden of East Dundee encourages you to eat seasonal and clean while still indulging a bit. Whether food is served fresh or wood-fired, nothing is overcomplicated. Mockingbird Bar and Garden promises to give your palate something delicious and new and aspires to be a hive of buzz and activity. Start your weekend with an espresso or complement dinner with wine, specialty cocktails, or craft beer. Visit mockingbirdbarandgarden.com today. As the Elgin Police Department continues to participate in the Distracted Driving campaign, they wanted to share some tips from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration website regarding safe driving. If you are expecting a text or need to send one, pull over and park your car in a safe location. Once you are safely off the road and parked, it's safe to text. Designate your passenger as your designated texter. Allow them to access your phone to respond to calls or messages. Do not engage in social media scrolling or messaging while driving. Are you struggling not to text and drive? Activate your phone's Do Not Disturb feature passenger or put your cell phone in the trunk, the glove box, or the back seat of your vehicle until you arrive at your destination. Remember, the Elgin Police are conducting directed patrols to enforce distracted driving violations. Just drive and stay safe. A message from our friends at the Elgin Police Department and your friends here at WRMN AM 1410 and 96.7 FM.
Blast Off! As Circus World boldly goes where no circus has gone before. Feel the big bang as Tina the Human Cannonball flies high.
Defy gravity with an upside-down rocketeer, perky poodles, soaring aerial acts, plus camels, llamas, horses, and ponies orbiting the ring.
Jugglers, zany comedy, and space cadet music invite you to Blast Off! To family fun at Circus World.
Open Book joins the WRMN lineup every Monday from 1 to 2 p.m. Tune in to Open Book with the Gale Borden Library as their team brings you the features and events the library offers. Educational, informational, and timely. Open Book includes the services Gale Borden Library offers, like the summer reading program. That's Open Book every Monday at 1 p.m. with the Gale Borden Library. Brought to you thanks to KCT Credit Union, where your financial well-being is their top priority.
Over the years, you've brought them into your home. You were prescribed opioids after the C-section, when Dad injured his back, when your basketball star tore his ACL. Opioids helped with the pain, and you held on to them just in case. But did you know holding on to unused opioids puts your family at risk? Opioids are powerful pain-reducing prescription medicines, but most people who are prescribed opioids don't finish their prescriptions. So millions of unused opioids are sitting in homes across the country. And tragically, more than 100 Americans die every day from overdoses involving opioids. What can you do to protect your family? Remove the risk of unused opioids from your home. Pills, patches, or syrups in drawers, purses, and cabinets, anywhere they might be hiding. To find out how to dispose of them properly, visit www.fda.gov/drug disposal.
Welcome back, everybody, to Open Book. You are listening to WRMN AM 1410, broadcasting live here from downtown Elgin. I am filling in for Leah today. My name is Matt McNeil. You might hear me, of course, in the later show, the Midday Drive, which will be happening later today from 3 until 6 o'clock. If you want to join in the conversation, feel free to comment on youtube.com at WRMN Radio. You'll be able to find us there. If you do want to hit the subscribe button and click the notification bell. You'll never miss a beat on what's happening here with WRMN and our live streams. So welcome back to the show here. Thank you again for Tish and Margaret for joining us today. We in the last segment here talked a bit about the book cart drill team and the 4th of July parade. And there were actually a couple other things too that I wanted to mention before heading on into materials handling. There's a photo op with a lizard, is what I'm seeing. Is that right? There's going to be a photo op there. And then also Captain Jack Sparrow, of course. He always comes by, too. So you've interacted with him before?
Yes, Captain Jack Sparrow is always fun to interact with. And he comes alongside us during the parade. And we usually chat and dance around before the kickoff. One year, though, we were almost photobombed by a lizard, a bearded dragon, a woman and her darling pet tried to break through in one of our routines, and I was very afraid for her because moving carts can be dangerous. We have a rule: no open-toed shoes when you're doing book cart drill team because you don't want to run over your toes with a cart. And she somehow wanted us to take a picture with her and her bearded dragon and the carts. And I started yelling, back away, back off. This is not safe. Not my finest hour in terms of being polite, but I just was on adrenaline and just wanted to make sure she was out of the way. Luckily, nobody was hurt. The lizard remained on her shoulder, calm as anything. But that was kind of a scary reptilian moment.
Yeah, yeah. You get into, when things like that happen, you're like fight or flight. You're like, okay, what do I do? And
Exactly.
and again, like what you said, you told, say back
Yeah,
off.
I was like, back off.
But that's, but safety is so important. And so you absolutely have to do what you have to do and tell people, like this is important.
If you're out there, I apologize for how I sounded, but I hope you're okay.
I'm sure that they're just fine. So thank you again for talking about the book cart drill team. Again, coming up, that's the 4th of July parade. We're looking forward to also broadcasting. It's going to be starting at 9 o'clock. The WRMN station will be at the corner of Douglas and Kimball near Danny's on Douglas. Now we want to talk a little bit about here with materials handling with Margaret Grunmeyer, Director of Materials Handling. And I also say here, too, that you are a distinguished Toastmaster.
Yes.
Very nice. And it says here that you will enjoy listening to her. That's what Leah put here for me. So talk a little bit about what is materials handling? What do you do in that department?
In the materials handling department, we check in and reshelve all items that are borrowed. We maintain the cleanliness and the accuracy of all the shelves. We like our shelves to be filled about 75%, so not too full, not so loose that they're falling over. And we do things like shelf reading. The shelves do not stay in order. We put them back in order. So every one of the pages, which are shelvers, shelf reads 20 minutes every day to maintain that accuracy.
Wow. Yeah, that takes a lot of time and elbow grease to make sure that everything is in order. And I know that we were talking a little bit about this earlier too, but of course you can tell the audience here, what is usually the section of the library in terms of where the shelving is that tends to be the most mismatched at times?
It would definitely be in kids space, in the early learning center. We have this wonderful baby garden, and right next to it we keep the books for babies, the board books. And the kids play around on the floor and rifle through the books. So most every day they need to be put back in order. But we have them all categorized: rigs and digs, ribbons and bows, books by author, the Spanish collection, the newest of the new. Mm-hmm. All of them are browsing collections, but you do want them in order,
right,
by author, first initial, and then title, so you can walk up to that shelf as patrons, as librarians, as shelving staff, and just grab the book you want.
Exactly. Yeah, it's definitely help, of course, to keep things all organized and well. And of course, working for a library, I'm sure it's extremely organized with so many things. But of course, there's times when, things here and there come up. But you know what? That's really, like I said, it takes time and precision to know what to do, how to handle the books, knowing exactly where they're supposed to go. And sometimes we, as the customers, might not even think twice about it when we're picking up a book and be like, oh, I'm just going to put this back here. So we thank you for doing that, because that can be a lot of work at times, making sure. But of course, if you're trained, you know exactly what to do and you're passionate about it, then everything is golden. So very cool. Now, there is also a little note here too, talking a little bit about weeding, mm-hmm, and what that entails.
Weeding. We get a list from the collection department or we tell them, oh, this section is too tight. They give us a list. We deal in a lot of lists, and we pull those items to maintain that about 75% shelf space. And then we also go through for condition, opening every book. What's the spine look like? Is it rips? Is it all colored? And then they are actually looking for how many times did that book circ If it's circled a lot, it's probably falling apart. We're going to get rid of it. If it hasn't circled enough, we're also going to pull it from the collection. And then we're constantly getting in new items. Therefore, the same number of items have to leave the collection.
Right. So the weeding process is, like you said, going through, making sure, what books are still intact very well, what other ones are not. I have to guess, as someone who loves genealogy and family history and a lot of the old antique items, I'm sure that you've had books that are very old, but I mean, it's also good, of course, to try to preserve those, but I'm sure that you've gone through books that are very old and you try to preserve them. It's just like, they're falling apart. There's nothing really that can be done, unless, of course, maybe there's a service out there that can actually bind the books. There is a service?
Yes, there is. We do a lot of rebinding.
Oh, awesome.
And a lot of the books we'll keep just because they're out of print.
We do have an archives.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's great. Very nice.
Yeah. And as a patron, you can actually access items from our archives. You just need to ask for them at the information desk on the second floor of the main library. But that's where we keep extra copies of the yearbooks, our city directories, some of the rare, fragile histories of Kane County and Elgin, that sort of thing.
Well, I'm definitely going to have to go and check that out too. Get a request, because as someone whose family has a line of family that has lived in Elgin since, like you said, talking earlier today about some of the first settlers. I'm sure you also have history on that as well here at the library.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, that's really, really cool.
Yeah, we have an excellent genealogy and local history collection.
I'm hoping at some point to also talk a little bit about that as well. You said you have a new genealogist. Is that correct?
Yes, we have a new genealogy librarian. His name is James McAdams, and he's jumping right in and working with people to do their genealogy research. I believe he's attending some of the Elgin Genealogical Society meetings, so he's there as a resource. He's very bright, eager to help, so come on in and reach out to him.
Very cool. I definitely plan on doing that for sure, as someone who loves genealogy. Back to the materials handling. Now, there is also something here too, retrieving of holds or reserved items, and how to do that for anyone who's interested.
It's a very big part of our job. 3 times a day at 7 a.m., 11 a.m., and 5 p.m., again, lists will run. We've set up automatically. Say you put a hold on the new James Patterson book. We will pull that, trigger it, and wrap it, and you can have it. You can come to the drive-up window. You can come inside and pick it up as a whole. You could pick it up at either the branches or the bookmobile. We pull about 200 books a day, or 6,000 a month. Our high was 14,250 during COVID.
Oh my goodness.
When the actual library wasn't open and all those books were picked up at drive-through.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. So it's a very valuable service.
That is really cool. Knowing, and I had kind of thought to myself before, we talked a little bit, like, how much did people came to the libraries during COVID, during the time when they weren't able to go to the library, but at least try to get books. So that's really cool. You said it was 14,000?
Yes.
That's a lot. That's a lot. So that's really, really cool. Another thing here, too, is talk a little bit about when it comes to materials and handling about, I don't know if you already mentioned this, shelf shifting. The shifting, yes.
In fact, we just finished a big project. We got new teen shelving. So all those books had to come off shelf onto carts. Carts play a big role in what we do. And then the maintenance department had to dismantle the old shelving. Then we had to wait for the company to come with the new shelving. It took them 2 days to put together. And then we had to put all those books back on shelf in a whole different configuration, of course.
Right.
Anytime, say, a new librarian gets hired or something, she has a new collection, she likes everything different. And then that comes to us to shift. And it's always a big job. And we love the challenge of that.
Oh, that's really cool. Yeah, it definitely is a challenge. Do you ever see, like, is there ever a moment where you're like, oh gosh, we could really use more people. Like, are there ever like with shelf shifting? What's the most you've had to do? Like how many shelves have you had to shift at one point in time? Have there been multiple cases where multiple shelves at the same time had to be shifted, or do you usually just stick to one area, one shelf area to kind of make it easier?
Before we had the new building, we had the building across the street. We were putting in all new shelving, those of you that remember, in front of the windows in information services. Mm-hmm. So all those books had to come off shelf and actually into wooden bins to put up all that new shelving and then spread out the new shelving, all the books. So that was a huge, huge project. It took weeks upon weeks to get that back on shelf.
I'm sure.
And then just moving into the new building, that was another massive shifting and reshelving. And, yeah.
I'm sure. I mean, going through all of that and making sure that everything is in order too is a lot of work. But that's the beautiful thing about Gail Borden Public Library is every single staff member, because I've been to the Gail Borden Public Library since I was a little kid. Every single staff member is always so helpful. They're passionate about what they do. And I see that in both of you as well. And so that's something to really be proud of. I'm very proud of that. We live in in the city of Elgin where we have this resource, this amazing resource of Gail Borden Library. And plus on top of it, you're celebrating 150 years, which is also really cool as well. I know that you have a fun lineup of things that are going to be coming up here as well. And of course, the website is also really done as well. I've brought up the website before on my shows for gailborden.info, talking about events and classes, books and more. So usually during my show, what I'll do is at least once every time during my show, I'll bring up the Gail Borden Library website, and I'll talk a little bit about things that are happening.
Oh,
so,
thank you.
You're very welcome. I'm passionate about it. I think it's really
the
cool.
Plug.
Absolutely. There's also something about a automated sorter, if you want to talk a little bit about that.
Yes, we have a wonderful sorter. If you ever get a chance, come to the Gail Borden Library and look through the windows, inside or out, and you'll see the long conveyor belt. You can either return your books from the drive-up, put your book through the slot in the wall, or from the lobby, comes down the conveyor belt, and it checks in your book, sensitizes it, and sorts it into the right bin. We have a 28-bin Linkso system. It is pretty amazing. Each item has an RFID tag, so it drops in if it goes into the Early Learning Center or the Youth Center, or fiction or nonfiction, or the DVDs or the CDs, or to one of the branches or the bookmobile. Everything is sorted. And then we take the books or items out of the bin and put them on our carts. When the carts are full, we exchange carts and sort the carts, and they're back out on the floor.
That's really, really cool. We are going to have to take a quick time out, but we'll be back with more with Open Book in just a bit.
Microsoft has new computers that put AI first, this special category called Copilot Plus PCs. They have minimum specs plus a chip just for AI. The company unveiling the first Surface devices with the designation, powered by Qualcomm chips, not Intel. One notable AI feature is called Recall. It lets your computer remember everything you do so that you can find files, images, and websites later. More tech news tips on Rich on Tech.
Every Saturday from 1 to 4, right here on WRMN.
Searching for a financial partner that truly has your best interest at heart? Join KCT Credit Union, where they're more than just a bank. They're a not-for-profit financial cooperative. KCT members are owners, meaning profits go back to you in the form of lower loan rates, higher savings rates, and fewer fees. Experience personalized service that puts you first. Become a part of KCT, where your financial well-being is their top priority. Visit kctcu.org. Each account insured up to $250,000 by member's choice. This institution is not federally insured.
Let me tell you a story about Bill. Bill was a normal guy in his 50s. He had back surgery about 2 years ago. Bill was in a lot of pain. He dealt with his pain by taking the Percocets his doctor prescribed for him. Bill took more and more and more of them to help with the pain, until one day the prescriptions weren't enough to get rid of Bill's pain. Then one day Bill found someone to help him get rid of the pain with illegal drugs he didn't need a prescription for. Fast forward to today. Bill lost his job and his family. The only thing he does have is his drug dealer. If you know Bill's story and you don't want to end up like Bill, call the Detox and Treatment Helpline right now to get away and get treatment.
800-694-1127. 800-694-1127. 800-694-1127. Call right now. Help is standing by. 800-694-1127.
Discover the authentic taste of Italy at Massiano's Pizza and Pastaria of Elgin. There is one inexhaustible aspect of everyday life that never dulls, namely the simple pleasure of eating and drinking. Massiano's wants to make sure that this is the best part of your day. Visit Massianos.com and sign up to view their special offers all year long. Delivery, carry out, or dine in, enjoy it anyway, because life is good at Massiano's.
Beef Villa's 3 locations offer much more than their signature Italian beef. Try the Italian sausage, roasted chicken, and more. There's a big variety of delicious side dishes. Beef Villa uses quality ingredients from homemade recipes, and they purchase top-of-the-quality food products from their vendors to bring you the absolute best tasting of foods. Beef Villa's great service and quality are waiting for you, but you won't be waiting long because it's always hot and fresh. Visit beefvilla.com. WRMN has been serving Elgin and the Fox Valley for 75 years, featuring a combination of local news, information, and entertainment in the mornings, followed by the radio shopping show for 5 hours each weekday. The first shift with Marky B starts your morning at 6 a.m., and it's always fun when Larry Jones is a part of the show.
Maybe we need to get a radio intern in to help.
Maybe so.
Somebody that you won't have to pay and you can treat them tough.
I can haze them.
Can't haze, you'll get fired. Remember that guy from Northwestern?
Yeah.
Gone.
Did he really do it?
You don't have to really do it. If somebody says you did,
yeah,
good enough. Maybe I'm going to accuse you of hazing me. I don't have to prove it.
And then there'll be a lot of people that come out of the and say that I also hazed
I remember when Mark hazed me. I've been hazed.
Mark hazed me back in 2012.
2012. I remember in Memphis one time. He was really mean to me.
It's first shift fun and information in the morning, combined with the radio shopping show to save you money. And you get it right here on WRMN AM 1410, WRMN 1410 Radio on Facebook, and WRMN1410.com. Welcome back to Open Book. Filling in for Leah today. This is Matt McNeil broadcasting live here from downtown Elgin. It's a beautiful sunny day outside today. If you haven't gone outside yet, make sure you do so. It is absolutely gorgeous outside today. Well, of course, we have our special guests here. We have Tish and Margaret with us. Again, thank you for joining us today. We talked a little bit about the book cart drill team, actually quite a bit about it, as well as also materials handling. There's so much that goes into it, even really behind the scenes as well when it comes to the materials and handling. I thought that was really fascinating. And of course, with the book cart drill team as well, seeing him in the parades before is also really fun, and it's, of course, great that you're able to do that again. Again, fingers crossed that we don't get as much rain, but like you said, you prefer the rain over the super scorching hot weather, for sure. So what we want to do now, too, is if you wanted to mention anything else in particular, I know like with, there might be some upcoming events coming up here. I know that if you, for the folks out there listening in, if you go to their website, galeborden.info, of course, the first thing that pops up, and I'll make sure to share it on my screen here so that, of course, you can also see it as well, is again here, it is the summer reading program. And if you want to talk a little bit about that, how much longer it's going to be going for, and other things surrounded by that.
Reading is very important because, as we know, when kids are out of school, they might not be inclined to keep up with their reading, and reading is fundamental to all of our other skills and our future education and success. So summer reading is a fun way to keep your kids reading, and also adults. Maybe you're on vacation. Maybe you finally have time to relax and read a book. That's what beach reads are for, after all. And so we have a summer reading program, and depending on your age or grade level, or if you're an adult or a teen, there's a different requirement for those groups. 1,200 hours of reading for an adult, for example. And there's an opportunity to win a lot of fun prizes. And today, July 1st, is actually the first day that you can finish summer reading and come to the library to pick up your prize. And tonight, this evening, there's a special event called Touch a Truck to celebrate summer reading and the first day that people can finish. You still have time to do summer reading. The event runs through the first weekend in August. And we just want to encourage everybody to pick up a book this summer. Audiobooks count. So if you like to listen to audiobooks on your family driving vacations, your road trips, that's always fun. So just come on down and get some reading or listening material and sign up for summer reading, or pick up your prize if you're already ahead of the game.
There you go. Yes, summer reading. It's a really cool thing that we, that you can do with summer reading. I think with kids, especially, I mean, even I remember like growing up, like I wasn't a huge fan of like summer reading when it came to like specified reading that I had to do like for school and stuff. But the beautiful thing, of course, is like when you have summer reading programs like this, you can choose the book that you like.
Exactly.
And of course,
read what you like.
Exactly. And keeping up to date with books and keeping up to date with reading is important, whether you do it hard copy or even electronically as well. And that brings me also to my next thing too, is that you also do have an e-library as well online, which is pretty cool to also check out. If you go to the website, that is gailborden.info, you can take a look at their e-library. It's a 24/7 e-library service that is up on their website. You can check out ebooks, audiobooks, e-magazines. They've got music you can listen to, which is also really cool as well, and a whole lot more. This is all up on their website. You can also check out, of course, events and classes. Are there any events and classes that any of you are familiar with that that you partake in or know?
Well, our technology classes are always popular, and we have a fairly new delivery system for some of our tech classes. Maybe you've run into the Technomobile in your neighborhood, and Jasmine and her crew can do demonstrations of various technological objects. And I believe we're coming up with a fuller schedule of classes that'll eventually go out into the community. So we have that to look forward to. So that's the Technomobile. And other offerings, if you go to our website, there is a pull-down menu of classes and that sort of thing. And you can always check our calendar. And you can search the calendar by limiting it to whatever kinds of events that you want to partake in. So you can limit it to a search of just technology classes.
That's really cool. Again, if you want to visit their website, that is under gailborden.info. I also want to, of course, give thank you to KCT Credit Union for being part of this. Open Book joins the WRMN lineup every Monday from 1 to 2 p.m. You can tune into Open Book with the Gail Borden as their team brings you features and events the library offers, both educational, informational, as well as timely. Open Book includes the services Gail Borden Library offers, like the summer reading program. And again, that's Open Book every Monday at 1 p.m. If you are searching for a financial partner that truly has your best interests at heart, you can join KCT Credit Union. They're more than just a bank. They're a non-for-profit financial cooperative. KCT members are owners, meaning profits go back to you in the form of lower loan rates, higher savings rates, and fewer fees. You can experience personalized service that puts you first. Become a part of KCT, where your financial well-being is their top priority. Visit kctcu.org. And each account insured up to $250,000 by members' choice. This institution is not federally insured. So, of course, wanted to say thank you to them as well. Now, if you are familiar, of course, with Redemption Center, we are open now every Saturday from 9 until 3. Feel free to take a look at the Gail Borden Library services. I have this up on the screen here, so you'll be able to see it if you're watching on YouTube. Great to have a hard copy in your hand to also take you with you as well. And I'm also sure as well at the library, you can also pick up these newsletters. I have the May/June newsletter, but I know that I'm sure you also are coming up with the July newsletter as well.
July, August should be in the mailbox of most postal patrons. If you're in our library district, then you will automatically receive the newsletter.
Very cool. And the thing is, too, is, I mean, it's got everything in here. It's got things that are happening with the Gail Borden Library. It also talks a little bit about, there's even an area here about STEAM, science, technology, engineering, arts, and math. So any of those courses that you folks out there might be interested, kids section is also on here too. Anything related to family activities, story times, youth and teen. There's so many different things. That's the beautiful thing about Gail Borden Public Library, is they really do have something for everyone of all ages. I think that's really, really cool. So
it would be impossible to come to the library and be bored.
Yeah.
And I think also it's impossible to go to Elgin and be bored. There's so much to do.
There is. And another thing that's really cool as well is when you walk down the main floor, there's that area that separates between the main lobby where the staircase is and then the children's section. And you can see a lot of really cool artwork there as well.
Mm-hmm. That's our art wall.
That's pretty cool. I've actually, my brother, I have a twin brother, and he's had his artwork on there before too. I think maybe I have as well, but he's also had his artwork on there also too. Another great thing as well is when you stop into the Gail Borden Public Library, you can also find their DVD and movie section where you can rent out some great things also in that section too. There's lots of comfortable seating, of course. And again, the second floor is where the genealogy center is as well. And of course, the preservation of all the cool stuff that is featured there.
We'll have to get the genealogy librarian here to talk to you because you're clearly excited.
I am. I love, yeah.
Which is great. Yeah.
Oh, people know. People know. I love genealogy for sure. And again, don't forget to check out their 24/7 e-library. That is gailborden.info/e-library. Now, if you want to talk a little bit about here, too, we do have a couple minutes left with, of course, the holiday of 4th of July coming up. If you want to talk or at least mention here a little bit about the hours of operation with the Gail Borden Library, because I know that I think you're going to be closing early.
Yes, on Wednesday, we'll be closing at 6 p.m., and then we're closed all day on Thursday, the 4th, at all locations.
Very nice. So that also does include the South Elgin branch as well. Mm-hmm. Very nice. The South Elgin branch too. It's smaller, but right. I do believe so. The South Elgin branch, I do believe, but it's cute.
We are going to start construction, and we're actually expanding the South Elgin branch.
Oh, nice.
Mm-hmm. So
that's awesome.
It'll actually be closing starting August 12th to prepare for the construction, which is anticipated to start right after Labor Day. And then we hope it'll just be maybe 6 or 7 months, and then it can reopen in a beautiful, expanded footprint. So we have that to look forward to as well. So
that's very cool. Always something happened here with Gail Borden Public Library. Again, if you do want to visit their website, that is gailborden.info. That's the website to go to. I also encourage you follow them on Facebook as well, facebook.com. They are on Facebook. They post pretty regularly up on their Facebook page with information, upcoming events. And another really cool thing that I know that you folks do as well is you post pictures of the events that had happened as well. So, maybe a day or two later, you say, we had a great time working with so-and-so with this event. I also did see something on Facebook as well that kind of interests me was kids could have their own shelf displayed, where they can display their own books that they love and talk to other kids who might enjoy some of the books that they also like too. So that's really cool. So again, thank you for joining us today. We still have a little bit, about a minute or so left. So is there any other information you wanted to put out there? How to contact the Gail Borden Public Library to kind of inquire a little bit about these different services, or maybe even volunteer work when it comes to the book cart drill team?
Well, you can always stop at our website, which is gailborden.info, and that's spelled GAILBORDEN.info, which seems like kind of an unusual URL, but there you have it. You can call the information desk at 847-429-4680. The library's general number, if you enjoy a web directory, that is 847-742-2411. I have not had to use that number since like 25 years ago, I don't think. But that's our landline, I believe. But it still works. We're there for you. Please come in, call us, email us, text us. There's a variety of ways to get a hold of us. And we're always here to help. And we just want to hear from you, whatever it is that you need.
Awesome. And we're looking forward to seeing the parade coming up July 4th. I can't believe how fast the time has flown here. Already in the month of June, we're already into July already. As well here. So again, thank you so much for joining us today. Again, Margaret as well as Tish, thank you again for stopping in, taking the time out of your day to come in and talk a little bit about the book cart drill team as well as materials handling. Very interesting conversations. And again, thank you for all you folks out there listening in to WRMN AM 1410. You can feel free to follow us on our website, WRMN1410.com. Remember, Open Book. It's every Monday from 1 to 2 p.m. We're taking you to the hour of Open Book, again, every Monday from 1 to 2 p.m. on a beautiful Monday morning here. So stay tuned if you want to listen to our next program. We have the midday drive with Matt. That's me. I'll be on from 3 until 6 o'clock to bring you the latest in information with happening in the area and talking about some other great things as well. Take care, everyone.